I'm Barun. I work as a software engineer at Accuknox. I maintain a CNCF project called CubeArmor. I'm a CNCF Ambassador and a LFX mentor. But before going into CNCF updates, we need to know what's exactly CNCF, right? Cloud Native Computing Foundation. So, any takers for telling me CNCF CAD? Lot of DevOps engineers learning to be DevOps engineers. Thank you.
CNCF mainly.
Hello. Am I audible?
Yes.
Yeah. So CNCF mainly deals with the open source projects and services and tools. And they basically I attend the last CNCF meetup, which is regarding Kubernetes Essential. So I got overview of what are the open source tools and projects and services which are monitored by CNCF and regularly updated and versioning is done. So this is all little bit I know about.
Great to see come forward to speak about what is CNCF, and anyone would like to speak about what is CNCF?
Okay, that was very close. So CNCF does help out maintain a lot of projects, but at the end, it's a governance body which helps. So like a lot of companies have their open source projects, but CNCF is a vendor neutral. Sometimes people think that when like Cloud Native Computing Foundation essentially helps keep projects vendor neutral while they can continue to grow. So they help grow projects using events, scholarships, funding, a lot of aspects, and that's what CNCF is about. There are more than 150 projects as part of CNCF. There's an entire website called Cloud Native Landscape dedicated to all these projects. So too small, but more than 150 projects here. There are different categories of projects. Some called graduated, incubation, sandbox. Anyone knows about any CNCF project? Just speak out any CNCF project. Kubernetes. Istio, yeah. Any more.
Prometheus.
So many others.
Rancher is not a CNCF project.
Docker is also not a CNCF.
Docker is also not a CNCF project.
Containerd.
Right. Containerd, yes. OpenTelemetry, yes. With
Turbo.
Data.
Argo Flux.
Argo, Flux, yeah.
Open. Argo.
Helm.
Helm, yes.
Grafana is not. I think Prometheus is.
Prometheus is, yeah. Yeah, perfect. Lot of you know about these. So now, anyone wants to tell that, okay, how many, like, we talked about a lot of projects from Kubernetes to KubeArmor. There are many tiers of projects, like sandbox, incubation, graduated. Anyone knows the differences between these?
So all these three are categorized in a way like sandbox, in which they are at the initial stage of building up. Second is incubated, where they are like not has given a one level up, in which they're still doing many changes in that, so that many other organizations should work upon that. And graduated, that now it is approved to be one of the projects should be working for all other organizations.
Completely valid. So basically, sandbox project. So you start an open source project and you want it to be part of CNCF. So sandbox is the first level of that. It's a proof of concept that it works. It has a differentiator. You prepare that, okay, it has something differentiating in the CNCF landscape. So they take it as a sandbox and then they help out with certain aspects. So what's incubation? As Sunan told, incubation starts when maybe a project has at least 4 or 5 different companies using it. So it's not essentially like you are still growing, like you have started to grow. If 5 companies out there are using your project, definitely there's something meaningful in your project, and that's what incubation is. And graduated is, I guess their criteria is 25, or I don't remember the exact number, but that's the amount of organization helping you, and there are contributors from various organizations contributing and maintaining it as well, and that's what graduated projects are. Any questions here? No, great. So what are the CNCF initiatives out there which you can probably leverage out? One of them is these cloud native community groups. That's the first one. Thanks to that, you are all here. So cloud native community groups, Kubernetes community days. So cloud native community groups are local chapters that are situated in every cities or a group of cities. KCDs are much more like a conference, but localized. That okay, they are region specific conferences. Though people do travel, take airfares and travel across countries to do attend KCDs, but that's essentially, it has the spirit of regional conferences. And then there's Cube Day. It's like a national conference, happens for an entire country. And finally, KubeCon. KubeCon is their flagship conference. Anyone knows about KubeCon or has attended KubeCon here? Does not know about KubeCon as well?
In last meetup, there's a brief introduction about that there will be a KubeCon in Japan
India.
in November, December, like
11 to America.
Which is happening this month, and then there's one which is based in Delhi in December.
11 and
So
12.
those are two different things. Okay. One is Cube Day, one is KubeCon. So give you some perspective, Cube Day did happen in India last year. That was a national level conference. And this year, Cube Day is in Japan. So it's more like a one-day conference that CNCF is just trying out whether it can be taken to an international level. Historically, KubeCon happened twice a year, one in North America, one in Europe. But this is the first time it's happening in India. That's in December. So it's much more at a larger scale. So I guess they are saying roughly 4,000 attendees. That's a huge number. And it will be spanning 2 days, December 11, 12.
11.
December 11 and 12 here, right in Delhi. So do check out. I'll talk about how to approach that as well. So do check it out. So that's for events. Then there are scholarships. These events itself are very expensive. So one ticket may cost you around $400 to $500. That's 40,000 rupees out there. So attending them is not like, unless your company is sponsoring you, you might just reconsider whether you want to attend it or not. So, but CNCF understands that, and there are scholarships out there. So you can apply for a scholarship saying that I have been active in CNCF in so and so way. I like to dedicate my time to cloud, like explain why you want a scholarship, prove yourself, and they will help you with a free ticket out there. In further cases, there's a travel funding as well, and they will help you travel as well. So you can, so like there's a Cube Day happening in Japan that does not have a travel funding, but conferences, international conferences, you can apply for scholarship and they will fund your travel as well, provided you are active enough in CNCF. Certification and trainings. So a lot of you are learning about Kubernetes. So there are certification and training available as part of official Linux Foundation as well. There are any certification that anyone wants to tell about? CKSA. There was one hand at the back. There is an idea. CKS, yeah. CubeArmor is a recent initiative. So if you have 5 of the certification that Cloud Native Foundation has, that's CKA, Administrator, CKAD, Administrator in Development, and CKS, Security, and then there's KCNA and KCSA. That's more like a primary level of CKA and CKS. And all 5, if you have all 5 of those certifications, you get to be called a CubeArmor. You have a cool jacket to wear and flex as well. So that's a recent initiative. But these certifications are expensive as well. So about $600, I guess. So
We have some codes, a discounted codes for that.
Yeah.
We will share in the later slide.
perfect. So first way to approach them would be to ask a company to reimburse it. If that does not happen, you have lift scholarships. These happen once a year. They are not happening right now. I guess they happen roughly around April. So you can fill your application saying why you as a student or whatever you are pursuing want to have the certification, and they will help you with at least one training and certification out there, which will be completely covered by them. Plus, thanks to Satyam, we have a coupon code as well. If you would like to pursue one of these trainings, do reach out to us. We will share the code publicly by the end of the meetup. So just look out for that. Or if you want to just know about it, do reach out to Satyam or on the WhatsApp channel. And finally, LFX mentorship. This is, I did mention that I was a LFX mentor. So we looked at roughly 150 plus projects in landscape, right? You mentioned a lot of projects like Prometheus, Kubernetes, Flux, Argo CD, but you mostly would have interacted with them as a user. LFX mentorship is a good chance to have you contribute to them as well. So these are initiatives under CNCF which help you. So like if you are looking to contribute to a project, it's a good chance to have yourself applied to LFX mentorship. This year, some statistics related to LFX mentorship are roughly 50 projects. I personally am mentoring 3 projects as well. So anything you want to know about Linux Foundation mentorship, we can talk about it later as well. You can check out mentorship.lfx.linuxfoundation.org. I'll drop these links later. The application deadline though is August 13th. That's roughly 3 or 4 days from now. So if you are considering applying, do check them out right now over the weekend, else it will be too late. And the stipend is $3,000, roughly, I don't know, 2.5 lakhs for your work over 3 months. And the term duration itself is September 9 to November 29. So any of you contribute to any projects? CNCF projects?
Kubernetes.
Satyam works with Kubernetes. You?
Microsoft project is going on.
We contribute as the organization.
Okay.
Hotel.
Hotel, yeah. Hotel is perfect.
Hotel, individual as well as organization.
Perfect. KubeArmor, perfect. Anyone has tried contributing at least one PR, not just to CNCF, but any open source projects out there.
Fedora. Steampipe.
Steampipe, Fedora. There was a hand at the back. Okay, forgot the name. Got too many contributions to remember. Nice. Great. So if you have not, these are the initiatives to look out for because they are specific, like not exactly beginners, but if you have the initiative to work on a project, they definitely work as the, like they give you the boost to have you contribute to them. So some of the CNCF project updates out there. Kubernetes is gearing towards a v1.31 release. So if you are using Kubernetes, do check it out. So there are a couple of deprecations out there, especially related to cluster, like managed cluster integration. There was a lot of code in Kubernetes related to GCP, Azure, both in cluster provider as well as storage file systems. They are planning to deprecate all of that and keeping the complete project vendor neutral. There's a project called Q. Any of these projects you know before and would want to talk about it? I don't want to bore you out with just saying that the numbers out there. Yep.
Yeah, we have recently upgraded our Kubernetes version to 1.31 and use Rancher also for cluster Kubernetes management.
You already upgraded to v1.31?
1.30.
Yeah, probably 1.30 because 1.31 will be out on August 30th. Unless your organization is super efficient and using a pre-release.
No.
I don't think that no one would do that in production, but
No, our DevOps team do these upgrades and we observe and monitor that. So there's no downtime or no nodes are down due to that activity.
perfect.
And Rancher also we use for management of the cluster and doing monitoring from their dashboard also for pods and
multi-cluster orchestrations.
yeah.
Works. Any other Nice. Anyone else? Privy, yeah. Nice. So Privy has an interesting upgrade. They have integrated into vulnerability exploitable database. It's called VEX. So do try to check it out and handle them because that's an interesting feature that they have added. I think the database is shared with CubeArmor. I'm not sure. So like it's like a common database across many vulnerability scanners out there. So check it out. Because I'm a maintainer, I'll shamelessly plug KubeArmor as well. So V1.4 just released last week. So lot of upgrades. I'm still writing the release blog, so I will not push more on that. Events. So some couple of events and safety updates. So if you want to come up to these events, there are two ways to like get a free ticket. One is apply for a scholarship. One is get accepted as a speaker. Being a speaker is much more privileged than getting a free ticket, but I had a good way to advertise this. So couple of conferences, as we talked about, the KubeCon plus Cloud Native Con India. The CFP deadline is 25. If you have any idea, you being like, it does not matter if you are contributing to a project. If you are end user of any project and have done and implemented it, certain things in a certain way, that's a good aspect to talk about as well. CNCF appreciates, I guess, at least from a top point of view, more about end users than like vendor pitches. So do consider applying to KubeCon India. There's KCD Ghana and KCD Indonesia. So if you're planning to go to Indonesia, Ghana, you can apply to them as well. Scholarship still open are Open Source Summit Japan and KubeCon India. So I told you KubeCon India is happening on December 11 and 12. If you want a ticket, you can still apply for scholarship till October 13. Links will be dropped in the WhatsApp group or on your mail thread. So do follow.
The Dapper Day is a free event or
Dapper Day virtual. I don't think it's a co-located event. So you'll need to check out.
It is paid.
It is paid. So
But you can, like, it's easier to get scholarship for the virtual
virtual.
events. So you can get that.
Compared to $400, the ticket cost is probably $10 to $20 at max for a virtual event. Great. So to talk about that's all for CNCF updates. To talk about CNCF New Delhi, this event on your social media and tag with Devtron, New Relic and these CNCG New Delhi hashtags. And they're based on your social media performance, like the likes and all. There will be swags distributed at the end of the event. So thank you.